High blood glucose, often called high blood sugar or hyperglycemia, can happen for many reasons. Now, it's a problem for people living with all forms of diabetes, whether it's type 1, type 1.5, prediabetes, type 2 diabetes, or gestational diabetes. And it's a problem for people who are living with insulin resistance, as we've talked about many times on this channel.
However, high blood glucose can also happen as a result of other factors like stress, eating excess calories, a lack of exercise, actively fighting a cold or flu.
That's why in this video, we'll discuss how to identify a blood sugar spike, some warning signs if hyperglycemia requires immediate emergency intervention, and the most effective evidence-based strategies to lower your blood glucose or your blood sugar through simple and attainable lifestyle changes.
And you'll want to watch the whole way through because research shows that 1 in 3 people are living with high blood glucose, and some people might not even know it.
First, let's talk about what to do in an emergency. More than anything else, with your health, it's always better to be conservative than it is to be aggressive. If you're uncertain about your symptoms, our recommendation is always to speak with your doctor as your first line of defense. There are some good ways to identify and take action during a dangerous blood glucose spike or a dangerous low blood glucose.
The symptoms of hyperglycemia are likely to onset after consuming food and include frequent urination, extreme thirst, excessive fatigue, blurred vision, and frequent headaches. If you have already been diagnosed with diabetes, this can be a common challenge.
Now, in most situations, drinking water or performing exercise can help lower your blood glucose if it's only an isolated spike. If you've been prescribed insulin, taking additional insulin may also help lower your blood glucose. However, if these symptoms persist or worsen for an extended period of time, despite additional insulin, water, or exercise, it may be important to get medical attention immediately.
Seek out professional medical attention if you notice feeling sick, having abdominal pain or diarrhea, experiencing rapid, deep breathing, a fever lasting more than 24 hours, worsening signs of dehydration, difficulty staying awake, unexplained weight loss, or muscle cramping. And if any of the symptoms we just mentioned persist or worsen, immediately seek out medical attention.
If left untreated, hyperglycemia can lead to more serious conditions like diabetic ketoacidosis, otherwise known as DKA, hyperosmolar hyperglycemic state, otherwise known as HHS, or a diabetic coma, which can be fatal. But before we get too scared, these are all rare emergencies. If you can catch them quickly, a spike in your blood glucose tends to be easily treated by yourself or by medical professionals. But now, let's focus on lowering your blood glucose in the long run.
If you're consistently struggling with high blood glucose, which is very common in people living with diabetes, there are some consistent evidence-based strategies you can implement to help. So let's get into them.
The most powerful way to lower your blood glucose in the long term is through adopting a low-fat, plant-based whole food diet, as we've talked about ad nauseum on this channel. Based off of decades of experience and hundreds of peer-reviewed scientific studies, this lifestyle is the single most effective way to increase your insulin sensitivity and increase the action of insulin inside of your liver and inside of your muscle. And increasing your insulin sensitivity is very important for a number of reasons. Number one, it lowers your biological insulin requirement and may lower your need for oral medications, and that's a good thing. Number two, it can help you lose weight and keep that weight off permanently. Number three, it can reduce your overall chronic disease risk because insulin resistance is the most controlling factor that talks to most of the chronic diseases that are present in today's world for most Americans.
The second benefit of a plant-based diet is that plants are naturally high in dietary fiber, antioxidants, and other key nutrients that can also help you improve your mood and energy, improve the health of your microbiome, boost immune function. We want to double down on this one. A healthy diet is the most powerful and most necessary step you can take to lower your blood glucose. None of the other strategies can overcome a poor diet.
Next up is intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is a dietary strategy in which you observe specific fasting and eating windows throughout a day or within a week.
When you intermittent fast, your body starts a biological process called autophagy, which has many long-term benefits, including improved cognition and brain activity, improved liver health, weight loss, reduced insulin resistance and insulin needs, better cardiovascular health, improved blood glucose, which are all good things in our book.
Next up, we have daily movement. When combined with dietary changes, increasing your exercise and daily movement can be an extremely effective way to lower your average blood glucose level, and that's a good thing. First off, more physical activity forces your muscles to oxidize more fat and oxidize more glucose, both of which are stored internally inside of your muscle tissue. Then, in the long term, integrating regular exercise into your daily routine can actually increase the amount of energy you're burning on a daily basis and promote a condition known as mitochondrial biogenesis. Mitochondrial biogenesis is the synthesis of new mitochondria inside of muscle tissue, and that keeps your muscle burning both fat and glucose at an advanced rate, which then helps lower your blood glucose even more.
In addition to the beneficial blood glucose effects of a low-fat, plant-based whole food diet, there are several plant-based medicines that can lower your blood glucose as much as common medicines like metformin.
One addition of a very powerful medicinal plant is called amla berries or Indian gooseberries. Now, Indian gooseberries are a fruit that have some incredible evidence-based health benefits, including lowering your blood glucose, lowering your cholesterol, and lowering your blood pressure simultaneously. You can get amla in many forms, and most of the forms are extremely hard to palate. That's why we created a tea called Amla Green. And Amla Green is a good tasting tea that has a very pleasurable experience that enables you to have a small amount of amla berries, approximately 4 grams per serving, every single day. So you take the amla berry tea and you put it into a glass of water, or you can mix it with vinegar and put it in a salad dressing, or you can put it into a smoothie, or you can put it directly on your food and mix it into a soup and get incredible benefits like we've discussed. This is a simple thing that you can add to your diet in addition to the power of a low-fat, plant-based whole food diet, which can dramatically improve your metabolic health within a very short period of time.
There are also some easy habits that you can take up to improve your blood glucose. For example, proper hydration helps your body process glucose effectively, along with many, many other things. And water also serves as an appetite suppressant to help reduce your weight.
Now, on the other hand, frequently low water intake is a definite risk factor for high blood glucose. The more dehydrated you become, the higher your blood glucose is likely to go. Now, lowering your stress is another way that you can lower your blood glucose both in the short term and in the long term. When you're stressed, your adrenal gland secretes a catecholamine, which is known as cortisol. And cortisol then knocks on the door of your liver to stimulate the release of glucose. And it also knocks on the door of your pancreas to stimulate the secretion of glucagon. Glucagon then goes and knocks on the door of your liver and says, knock, knock, could you release some glucose into the blood? Both of those can independently increase your blood glucose value, which can then cause your glucose to go up in a very short period of time. Now, if you live in a high stress setting on a daily basis, then you subject your liver and your pancreas to higher concentrations of cortisol, and that can stimulate the release of glucose as well as the production of glucagon. And the combination of the two of these stimulate what's known as a fight or flight mechanism. And this fight or flight mechanism is a very biologically conserved mechanism, which is necessary to have. But if you're stimulating it on a daily basis, and it's stimulated for many hours of the day, this can lead to chronically elevated blood glucose that can persist for many hours. So, avoiding a high-stress lifestyle is a very good thing, and lowering the amount of cortisol that your adrenal gland secretes on a daily basis is going to help you control your blood glucose very quickly.
And finally, getting enough sleep can also be a major aid in controlling your blood glucose. When you are sleep deprived, your appetite and stress levels both increase, both of which increase your risk for high blood glucose. That's right. That means that when you sleep poorly, you actually get hungrier, which can contribute to both unwanted weight gain and high blood glucose. So try to get enough sleep whenever you can, because not only is it fun, It makes a massive difference to your overall metabolic health.
Now, these are all great things to do to improve your blood glucose control, but the key to achieving and maintaining lower blood glucose is to make consistent, sustainable changes that you can stick to in the long term. With that in mind, here's a few things to keep in the back of your head as you transition to a lifestyle that increases your insulin sensitivity.
Don't look for quick fixes. One of the most important parts of finding a long-term solution to your blood glucose problems is to change your habits, not just your behavior. Rather than going on an extreme diet or making huge, life-altering decisions for small periods of time, focus on steady, sustainable changes.
And don't forget to use decision trees. The most powerful tool to help you in lifelong diabetes management are a tool called decision trees that we have created. It uses a very old school technique, which is called a pen and a piece of paper. And it's a way where you can consolidate all of your information into one central location so that you can make sense of what you're eating, how much exercise you're performing, how your blood glucose responds to the food that you consume, what your stress levels are, how often you're sleeping, how well hydrated you are, and more. By putting all this information in one central location, you can then identify patterns, and then you can correct those patterns on a daily basis to help you improve your blood glucose control very quickly. A decision tree is actually designed to help you track so many things in one central location that it really helps you get visibility into all of the things that affect your blood glucose on a daily basis.
This tool is specifically designed to help you get insight into exactly what's affecting your blood glucose and energy levels, and it makes a big difference. And focus on the positives. As you're making the transition to a new diet and making lifestyle changes, it can be easy to feel like you're giving up old favorites. A good way to flip this on its head is to focus on the positives of new changes.
Improved mood, improved energy, attaining your ideal body weight, improved fitness, improved control over your emotional and mental life, and improved cardiovascular health. These are all small changes that really add up over the course of time that you will be able to see happening in your body. Once you begin experiencing them, there is no denying the true power of this approach.
And the flip side of focusing on the positives of these new changes is to not give yourself a hard time or expect to be perfect. It's very rare to quit eating meat and added sugar and integrate an entirely new system of eating and exercising all at once.
You might have nights where you splurge or weeks when you're busy and might not be able to exercise. Family, life, work, and vacations can certainly get in the way. The important thing is to focus on the long-term effects of the habits that you're creating today. Are you moving in the right direction in general? If so, don't give yourself a hard time because small changes that you make today can completely change your life into the future. Well, where does that leave us? Well, with over 30 million people living with diabetes in the United States alone, controlling your blood glucose is one of the biggest challenges that people in America face in the 21st century. You are a step ahead because you're already beginning to incorporate this information into your daily life that's going to have a powerful effect not only on your diabetes health, but also lower your overall chronic disease risk.
The good thing is that there are many other people right there with you, working hard, transforming their lives, and maintaining their health after getting control of their blood glucose. That's why we founded Mastering Diabetes, so we could bring all of those people together, offer coaching, community, and guidance through every step, and see real life-changing results.
And if that sounds like something you might be interested in, keep listening. There's a reason that so many people are talking about their A1C miracle. It's because this method is very powerful and it works within a very short period of time.
We have a range of programs from group coaching to private coaching, which can all help you take control of your life. In order to find out which option is best for you, we suggest booking a free discovery call. Simply click the link below and you'll be directed to a page where you can book a time that works for you and speak with an enrollment specialist on the Mastering Diabetes team.
And don't forget to push that cute little like button with your thumb or with your mouse. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications by clicking that cute little bell icon. Doing that is going to notify you of when we create new videos so that you can get the inside scoop